Today is May 11, 2020, and today I'm going to describe or actually walk you through the process of taking a listing using the AuthentiSign DocuSign AuthentiSign system. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to go into the dashboard of MLS, as you would be. You're going to go into the dashboard, and you're going to go onto your Clarity dashboard. Hopefully it opens up soon. There it is. And on Clarity, we're going to go to Transaction Desk. Okay. Transaction Desk opens up in a new window. And I'm going to make up some names, but I am going to create a transaction. I'm going to name the transaction. I'm going to name it Bob Agency. Let's name it Bob Agency. Unless I have the listing and an MLS number, I don't have to import anything else. If I did have a new listing and it was already signed, then I would put in the MLS number and this would find it. I am going to be the listing agent. If I was representing a buyer, I would be the selling agent. So I'm going to put myself in as a listing agent right now. I'm going to create a new folder. And now that transaction was created. And here it is. Please wait. All right, so what I like to do, since I don't have the listing yet, I just want to get over to the contacts. And I already have contacts in my database. I could have gone here to this little contacts and I can add my buyer seller. I'm waiting for my computer to settle. Okay, so I can add my clients here in contacts. Or not. So I've got my contacts in here and I'm going to save and exit. All right. Now, this is the important part. Once I created the transaction and I'm in that transaction, a little pen appears on the left side. I'm going to start a transaction by clicking on that little pen. And I'm going to create a new signing. The new signing will be either new listing, Bob Schwartz listing, whatever. I can call it whatever I want. I'm going to name this one Bob Schwartz listing. Okay, I don't need a transaction number. I'm going to save that. All right, now this just opened up. I'm going to add participants to this. I've got, usually if it's a listing, I got a Mr. and Mrs. Seller and an agent. So I'm going to go to participants. I'm going to add, I can either add them fresh, but if I put them in my contacts already, I can go to add from contacts. And I have my, let's see where we have my test patients. I've got Mary Test and Jason Test. Those are my two test people that I selected. And then me, Joseph Barada. All right, and let's just, we don't need a third person. So 3 people are on there. We've got 2 sellers and an agent. Okay, so now I got my participants. Now we're gonna go pick documents. I've already loaded into a new folder for my clients on my computer, and I put in whatever information I already have. Usually I have something from Realist or something like that. So I'm going to upload a file from my computer. And I don't know if you could see this window. Let's see if I should share that as well. New share. And these are my seller listing docs that I've selected. All right, and I put them in a folder on my desktop. And I'm using agency, exclusive right to sell, my property condition disclosure, agent affirmation, lead paint disclosure, and now the COVID-19 disclosure as well. So I'm going to add all of those to the transaction. What happened? Screen share, sorry. Let's go back in here, do it again. And let me minimize that. I'm going to upload the file. Sorry, glitch. Upload the file. And I'm going back desktop. I'm going to folder I made for the client's agency, affirmation, COVID, exclusive right to sell, and lead paint. Okay, all of those folders, all of those documents are being uploaded right now. Hang on. Okay, now they're all there. All right, so here's all my docs that I just uploaded. If I found out I did the wrong one or I needed to add another, I can add another document, say, oh, I'm not going to need that one. The house was built after 1978. I could get rid of lead paint, whatever. So now I'm going to design them. Really a bad word, design. It should be fill in, but they have it called design. Okay, so right now you see my first is my Jason, who's Mr. Client. So now everything I do is going to involve Jason, right? I'm going to scroll down here to my agency and hit drag and drop. See, drag and drop right here. And we, it's going to be Jason. So signer name is Jason, test client. And Jason is the seller. So he is going to sign here. And I'm going to grab the date and I'm going to put the date down here. Let's keep going down. Property condition disclosure. This explains that they're either going to fill out the form or give $500 credit to the buyer. So it's going to be signed here by the seller and the date for Jason. Keep going down. COVID disclosure. We have sign here for the seller and a date, and print name. We're going to put Jason's name. Pulling down now my listing contract. We're going to the third page, and owner has to sign it and date it, right? And then below, we have to have the definitions of fair housing, code of ethics, and exclusive right to sell, exclusive agency. Owner's going to sign that as well. Next page is lead. Usually, in most cases, the seller has no idea about lead, never knew this before. They don't have any work done in the house. They had no idea what lead was. So we're going to grab this little X. Seller has no knowledge of lead-based paint, and seller has no reports or records of lead. Okay, that's that. And now seller is going to sign and date. And that's the third page, right? That's the final page. So now let's go back up to the top and let's change our client to Joseph Barada. Now it's agent, okay? So actually let's stick with filling in my sellers first. So first page of agency, we are going to put Mary's name next to Jason because she's the other seller. She's going to sign here and we're going to put a date. There goes the agency form. Next, property condition disclosure affirmation. Seller's going to sign and date. Next, we have COVID. We've got seller signature, seller date, and print name. And then we go to the listing agreement, page 3. We've got owner, seller name, date. Next section, seller's going to sign. Hope I'm not going too fast. And since only one seller has to acknowledge, and now we need the other seller's signature and the date. And now we just completed for both sellers. Now we're going to go put me in there. I'm the third party in this transaction, and agency. The only thing I need an agency, if you hadn't filled it in, you could put your name here by putting signer name, but it doesn't need to be there. I typed it in advance, so forget about that. On the agency, only the sellers or buyers sign it. We don't sign it. We just put our name on there. If you wanted to initial it or something like that, I can just put initial here, and that'll take care of that. Next thing, property condition disclosure, no agent signature required. COVID disclosure, we have name of licensee, there it goes right there. And if you want, you can initial it as well. All right, it should have Barad and Company Realty on here. Listing agreement. Listing agreement is on page 3, is going to have the agent's name and signature and date. Okay, and then lead, we are required for lead, agent inform the seller of their obligations, which means if you have any documents or paperwork regarding this house for lead, you are supposed to give it to me, then I give it to the buyer, right? I've done that, so I'm going to take initial and agent initials right here. Agent has informed the seller. Boom. Okay, and the agent has to sign this as well. Agent and date. Okay, so now all 3 parties have completed this transaction, all ready to go. I'm going to go to next. If I just send invitations, they're going to get a generic invitation in email saying your signature is requested, and most people will ignore that, or they're going to think it's spam. So what I like to do is I like to customize every invitation for someone who's never done Authentisign. So now on Jason, I'm going to say listing box for 123 Perry Street. Okay, and please sign, please sign the listing documents, right? I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy that. Me, it's coming to me. I don't need that. But my other seller is going to get the same message, and it's going to be 123 Cherry Street Docks. Okay, so now all 3 received a personalized invitation. Like I said, I don't need it. You don't need it. You're going to see it coming from you, so you're going to see it. Or you can just put 123 Cherry Docks. Okay. Great. Now I'm going to save that, and I'm going to send the invitations. Invitations were successfully sent. Okay. Now I can go monitor my transaction by going back into your transaction desk and open up the transaction that we called Bob Schwartz. And let's open Bob Schwartz's Authentisign. And at the moment, this out of the way, you can see there's Jason, Joseph, and Mary. So this is the order they're going to go in. So Jason's going to receive his first. When he opens his email, a checkered flag will go off in here. When he signs it, a checkered flag will go off here. And then the next person in line, which is me, will then get the email that says you have a transaction ready to go. Please sign it. And then opening it will give me a checkered flag, signing it, a second checkered flag, and then next, after that's completed, Mary will get the email with the personalized invitation that I already got. Okay, so now I'm going to open my email up. Hang on one second. I'm going to pull it up. See if I got it yet. Okay, I'm going to go check my mail now, and let's see if it went through. Okay, there it is. There goes the email, Authentisign. Signing invite failed. Let's see what happened. Okay, was not delivered. Okay, so the reason it wasn't delivered is because Authentisign checked out Bob Schwartz and verified, this is a great example, verified that Bob Schwartz email address is not test1@baradaandcompany.com. That's a great example, because if Bob Schwartz was real and that was Bob's real email address, this would work. So it was rejected because it failed because it's the wrong email address. So the system is asking me to recheck and make sure that Bob Schwartz's email address is correct, because it will not allow it to be an authentic signature if the person and the email address don't match, which is excellent. Glad that happened. And at the same time, I have to figure a different way to show you how to do this so that you guys can get the idea. But screen share, let me go back here and back to this. Oh, wrong one. Hang on a second. Let's go to screen share here. There we go. All right. And now if I refresh this page, there you go. Detected a problem with the email address. All right. Now everything that goes to baradaandcompany.com ends up as a default in my mailbox, but that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is Jason test client / Bob Schwartz does not match with that email address. So I have the opportunity to go in and edit it, and I can go and change it and put in Bob Schwartz's real or Jason's real email address, but he's a fake guy, so I can't go and do that. But essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm going to save it. And now if it was correct, I would go here and resend it. I can start all over again and reset the entire transaction, or I can send somebody a copy from here. So that's how that works. What I can do is, let me try and reset this. Let's start from scratch. And let's get rid of participants. Let's get rid of Jason. Let's just get him right out of here. Okay, now let's see the design. It might have kept everything the same except for Jason. I'll take a look. Yep, Mom's still here, Mary's still here, Mary's still here, Mary's still here. Okay, great. So let me redo this now. I'd like, just for example, so you can see it, and send the invitations. Okay, now I'm going to go check my email for the new one. And oh, please. Okay, so let's check the mail. Hello, mail. And let's share that. And there it is. 123 Cherry Docs. I'm going to open that email, and it's going to say signing invitation. Joseph Barada is inviting you to participate. Start signing. 8-page document. All right, and that's my signature. I accept. And where's my spots right here? JB, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click here, and I'm clicking here, and initial. It says I'm done. That's it. Now I could read this, stay in review. Let's look at everything here and see, what did I actually just sign? I signed JB as licensee, and I signed as the agent, and I signed the listing agreement as the agent, and I signed LED as initials and agent. Okay, so now I'm going to go complete signing. No thanks. You can see that, no thanks. Okay, so now what happens is I'm going back to, where's my Authentisign transaction desk? All right, so now if I go here, this is Bob Schwartz listing. I'm going to open it up, and you will see that I opened it and I signed it. So there's 2 checkered flags. Now it went over to Mary. Mary will receive it. She'll go through exactly what I just did. She'll click on each thing after she reads it. As soon as she opens the email, I'll get a checkered flag. As soon as she's complete, I get 2 checkered flags, and I will get an email that the document was signed. And then here, I will have the final document. So now if we look at the first document, I have a copy of the first document. First document is here and has my signature on it. The second one will have Mary's signature on it, and it'll say final, and it will provide for me a certificate from Authentisign that it scrubbed the name with the person and the email, and the signature that clicked on it is the actual person. This just prevents me from sending this to some total stranger and getting them to sign a document that they have they're not supposed to be part of. All right, so that's how we did that. If you guys have questions, run through this, watch it again, and this was for a listing. The next transaction we can do is with a buyer, and I'm also going to record filling out listing documents and all the documents one by one, so you guys can walk through and take a look and see how we fill out individual docs. In the meantime, you guys know how to reach me, and good luck.